I am breaking quarantine, but I'm going stir crazy, and the chances of me running into anybody is like 1,000,000,000. I won't touch anything. Nobody, everybody else is supposed to be in sort of quarantine anyway, and it's night and it's cold and people aren't going to be out, except me and my boys, who you can't see. Here, maybe I get some light on them. Can you see him? Okay. So yeah, a week ago today, I was directly in the presence of a person who tested positive for this coronavirus. And so I've been put on medical quarantine. And let's see. Do I have symptoms? I actually do have symptoms of a mild infection. The kind that's supposed to make everybody really sick because they just keep going. My fever's up even more tonight. It's still not high. I don't have pneumonia, which would be a problem. But I can tell you, even like getting dressed leaves me a bit winded. This is the types of thing where I'd be like, well, I'm having a bad moment or something. I would not have noticed. If somebody said, hey, check your temperature, you might have a 2-degree increase in your temperature. Actually, it is edging higher. I am starting to feel like that feverish type feeling slightly, but I'm telling you, I would not have noticed. Which is the problem with this thing. I actually talked to my doctor. I have to call it every day with a verification of what my symptoms are, what my temperature is, turn all this in. They didn't want me to get tested. The reason why my doctor doesn't want me to get tested is I might not have it. This could be psychosomatic. I don't know if people can will themselves into having their temperature rise, but I wouldn't be surprised. Power suggestion and all that. Could be I have something else, completely different. There's Percy coming out from the woods, as they do. People ask me about a cough. I have a cough if I take a deep breath, and I'm trying very hard not to. Take a deep breath. So, for a general rule, I don't have a cough. When I start coughing, I keep coughing because it's irritating more than pain. But yeah, I might not have this virus. And if I don't, and I go get tested, I will be around people in an area where the virus definitely is. They're not, they are coming up with positive tests. So far in my area of the testing results, it's a really low percent, like 5% or something are coming up positive, but that's where the disease is. So if I got something going on, which means I have a slightly compromised immune system, even if I don't have this virus, if I hang out where the virus is, I'd be much more likely to get it. So unless I actually have to be hospitalized, I'm not supposed to take a test. But I feel like crap. So I'm really glad that I'm in the house. I'm not supposed to work. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm supposed to stay there and avoid life. Things like dogs. Come on, Pear. Those dogs think you're really interesting, but that's just because they don't know what a 3-legged cat looks like. Anyway, So yeah, I'm really glad that I have this fabulous excuse to do nothing. Because when I do anything, I'm worn out. But so that's the thing, is that maybe I'm not great, and I just don't realize it because I'm doing what you're supposed to do when you get sick, which is stay home and rest. You know, maybe staying home has put this idea in my head and I'm not really sick. Who knows? But it's a little freaky to watch that thermometer edge up. But it doesn't really matter because I don't have any, if it's just the regular infection and nothing added to it, people seem to be tolerating it really well. It's when you have a lung issue already, or if you get pneumonia from it, that it's a problem. So, whatever. So far, so good. Can you see him? I got 3. 1, 2, 3 following me. Including Stealthy Percy, who you probably can't see at all because he makes sure you can't be seen. Anyway, yeah. So what is going on? How is this affecting me with my avoidance? Again, I am kind of going bonkers. Usually, one of the things I like to do, like in general, is I like to bake and cook, and that's not happening. Like, the first day, I made a loaf of bread, and that was about it. And normally I'd be doing that type of stuff. It's just, pounding the heck out of dough or whipping it up. Makes me feel better somehow. It's like, I don't know. I don't have the energy for it right now. I mean, I actually do have, like, specifically, I have this, big mixer thing, and I have dough hooks on it, and I could do anything I wanted with that thing. It's got, like, all the bells and whistles. I've got, those massive plastic storage crate things. That's how big all the parts are to this contraption. It's got all the bells and whistles, and yet, not really interested. Also, no appetite. So I guess that works out. I have plenty of food in the house. If I'm interested. I'm just not interested. That is actually what I've been doing, is I have this loaf of bread, and I just go hack off a piece of it, like 4 or 5 times a day, and just eat plain bread, because I'm not interested in anything, and drinking a lot. Talking makes my chest hurt, so I don't know about keeping making these videos. But generally it doesn't. It feels heavy. And it felt heavy early. And again, I don't know if it was something else. It would have been about day 3, looking back, that I started feeling that. Or maybe not. Maybe it was something completely different. Because they say that it's about day 5 that you really get symptoms. Day 5 is when the fever started. The teeny tiny, not really worth counting fever, which is right around 2 degrees increase. I mean, whatever. Like I said, I'm not having any other symptoms. if you notice, I'm walking very slowly out here. And it's not just because of the cats. I'm just being a slow coach. It does bother me if I take a deep breath. So I'm trying not to take a deep breath. Okay, but the avoidance. Let's see what happened. My son, when I called, because I saw him in this incubation period, I I mean, I was literally just passing stuff off to him. So I don't think I touched him even skin to skin. I was dropping stuff off. I mean, we're talking like a minute, maybe, when I was in his presence. But I call him up and tell him, okay, this is what's going on. And he's, I don't want to hear about this, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm talking about, blah, 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 blah. So he has a friend who's a medical student who got in touch with me, and I'm like, this is what happened, this is what my doctor says. I'm trying to tell August because he could have been infected, and apparently this guy told my kid, and he stopped with that. I'm never going to talk to you again if you bring up this disease shit. I mean, he's still, it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what I do, he's angry. In other words, par for the course. Is it bothering me to call into the doctor's office? Oh my God, yes. But it's not an avoidant thing. It's the people on the other end of the damn phone. I mean, I get it. They're probably totally overrun with Yahoo saying, oh my God, I heard that maybe somebody 5 streets away might have it. I'm afraid I got it. As opposed to me, which I got called by a different doctor's office than the one, my regular doctor, saying I definitely had it. So I'm sure they're used to getting yahoos and wackos. But they've been so rude every time I call. I'm supposed to call every day with updates. It's just so rude. You know, it's been so long since I had to deal with healthcare people on a regular basis. That would be with my son and my mother. So well over a year. And, you know, I understand more now why it was so terrible and why it was so bad and why going through that stuff was causing so much grief to me. Because people are nasty and rude. Oh, here comes Perry. And he's hopping and he needs a break. Can you see him? He's trying to keep up and it's kicking his ass. Is this walk kicking your ass, cat? Huh? Is it? There's Poppy. Percy's somewhere. Yeah, that sucks. That's among the reasons why I'm really paying attention to this stay in the house and do nothing thing. You know, I mean, I do always have this sense of, you know, personal responsibility and blame for everything, and like excessive to the max. But the alternative is being stuck in the hospital if I ignore the doctors and I get really sick. That's not cool. No, thank you. And a lot of the things with doctors is that they will not let you leave unless you've got family to take care of you. No, wrong, ain't gonna happen. That would, I can't even imagine. I mean, if I was that sick, I mean, I'm out here and it's really cold and I'm talking a lot and just is like one little spot. I can feel it. But I had pleurisy a couple of years ago. I told you all about that, right? I have had in the past a background of pretty maladaptive coping techniques. It started when I was a kid, doing cutting. And it spread to other self-harm behaviors. And every once in a while, you come back. And one of them was like a bulimic type of thing. And not because I think I'd ever lose weight, because that's not the point. Pear, he's down there. The point is to cause harm. Well, the last time I did it, I caused some fucking harm. I popped a hole in my esophagus and caused an infection of my pleura, which is the lining of my lungs. And so now I have like this soft spot in my lungs that's constantly painful. Not constantly painful, but it's like the spot where, it's a weakness, and if anything's going to sit there, it's going to sit there. So that spot bothers me. That spot is bothering me now. But the rest of it isn't. It's pretty high. It always makes me really nervous because it's like up in my chest, and you've got to breathe past that down. I would only be worried if it was like lower, like down near my stomach area. If I started feeling pain down there, I would really, really pay attention to it. If I, although if I take a deep breath down there, then I cough. So I try not to. Because again, that makes everything worse. This is my goal in life, is to really take it easy. And not do anything that irritates anything, because, well, I don't want it to get worse and to get sick enough that I actually have to go to hospital. And because it freaks me out and scares me. And it's not getting sick. What do I care about that? It's dealing with the hospital and the people and the stress of it. And I hate that. And I don't know why it's not in the DSM. Probably because they just don't have enough people talking about it. They talk about people being underemployed, but I think people not getting medical attention when they need it, I think is pretty common. Just like it's really common to not want to get your hair cut or to go to a barber or a hairdresser. Hey, Purse, there's my boy. You're out in the sunshine. Let's see him. Well, it's not really sunshine. He's visible at all. What's the matter with you, babe? You're getting sick too? Are you losing your mind? Are you forgetting? You're seeing the other cats thinking that they might not be your friends. Okay, he's freaking out over the cats. That's what it is. Anyway, but, yeah, I think it's the same thing. Like, not wanting to see a dentist. It's at 50-50. It's either somebody that's like, I need to keep up my appearances, therefore I will have perfect teeth at all time and go religiously so that, I've got this like visual thing that is acceptable. There he is. That's Percy. And so I won't be judged for not fitting a standard. Or it's the, oh my God, I gotta talk to somebody and they're gonna put things in my mouth, and no way in fucking hell. I'm one of those. I avoid doctors, even when I'm sick, even when I'm symptomatic of a freaking, pandemic disease. Don't care. It's not really stupid. Okay, I want to attack myself. It's not really stupid because there is absolutely nothing that can be done about it. Come on, boys. Casey, I'm running. If I get pneumonia, and that is a bacterial infection, then I can get on an antibiotic. If I start getting dehydrated, so I'm paying very close attention to that, then that's a different deal. But, hey, Perry. Car's gone. Anyway, But this particular disease, if I got it, then they don't have anything they can give you to make it better, so what the hell. And I'm saying this because I've been walking, how long have I been out here? I can look at this thing, 20 minutes, that's how long I've been out here. And the little pain that started like in the front of my chest has now gone straight through to my back. And it's like this straight line through my chest to my back. That pain has extended since I've been out here because, again, one, it's cold, and two, I'm talking. Talking seems to be a major issue. So other people are like, yeah, you can talk to me, it'll make you feel better, you won't be so lonely. I'm like, yeah, but then I have to speak and it will hurt. So thank you for the offer, but no thank you. You know, you know what I mean? So I'll talk to the cats. They're a real pain in the butt. Poppy's new thing, Poppy, the guy with the white feet, is to lick my feet. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're such a weird cat. They seem a little concerned. They're a little bit more attentive, which makes me think I really am sick. Not because they can, like, tell that I have a disease and they're, virus detecting super animals, but more like my behavior changes and they're concerned for that. My theory anyway, as a crazy cat lady. I don't know. I mean, like I said, things like, I was like, oh, I'm going to be stuck in the house. Let me find something to do. And I got all my stuff for my spring flowers. So, yeah. It's still in the car. Seeds are in the house because they would freeze. But the, like the dirt and stuff is in my car. I mean, it wouldn't take very long to set it up. And the earlier I do it, the better the flowers will be. But no, not interested. Not interested in cooking, not interested in eating, not interested in doing much of anything. What are you doing, Pop? He is weird. I don't know if you can tell from his body language. He's like stalking something. What are you doing, cat? This parrot laid down again. And here comes Percy. Wow. Percy usually doesn't come right with me. But then maybe he does and I just don't notice him. I mean, can you see him? He's right there. But it's got to be light, has to be a certain way that I can see him because he just blends in really well and tries hard to. And that little black cat that's out here all the time is not here. Yeah. So what do I say about dealing with this virus? I would say take advantage to working from home. Now, granted, you'll be missing out on people, but it's like getting an extra vacation. For introverted people and people with avoidant personality disorder, that's really what it's like. It's like you get paid vacation in short term. I would say pay attention to whatever the doctors tell you, if you're told anything by a doctor, because, the alternative of going to the hospital, in my opinion, would suck. Yeah. So, that's my new advice to people with this disease. And again, with a presumption that I have it. 1, 2, 3. See how hard he is to see? Anyway, with the presumption that I have it, I would have no idea if I hadn't been told to look for this. I mean, why would you check your temperature? I don't feel hot. I don't really feel sick. I feel like no energy. And sometimes I just feel like no energy. It's a big deal, you know. So I'm having a bit of a lazy time. Who cares? I really wouldn't know. But then again, I'm not really sick. You know, well, I mean, probably I have something. Probably I have a mild case and I would be a carrier. About my son, yeah, he's still where he is. He asked me today to come home, and I'm like, dude, what's that about? He's like, yeah, well, it's really boring because he can't go anywhere. Okay. And people getting on his nerves. Okay. But he came to my house. He couldn't go anywhere. And chances are he'd get sick. And then he couldn't go anywhere for even longer. So, you know, he definitely would not be able to go back where he is until he got a clean bill of health and a 2-week quarantine. So that's a big no. Oh, Perry is humping pretty bad. He's tired. All right, well, I'm going to end this so that I can go scoop up Perry and carry him home because he is whipped. And, yeah. I mean, I would count this as still being quarantined, wouldn't you? Technically, I'm supposed to be in the house. But I think this counts. But I had technically broken it. Whatever. I just, like I said, I'll touch my cats and I won't touch anything else. And I'm not out here coughing. I'm, I guess breathing, I don't know. Breathing could make, I could breathe and it could land on the ground and somebody could step on it and then it would be on their shoes and it would, there's a tiny, tiny chance, but I don't see anybody out here walking. And I also think that they would probably catch it someplace other than me, so I'm not really worried about it. Anyway, I'm going to pick up Perry and carry him home. The other 2 boys have already gone home, it looks like. I don't see them out here. That's the update. That's what's going on. Bye.